Recording. We'll start the recording now. Okay, guys, I'm Roger Rowe, and I am here to introduce you to Gloria Gunn and Lee Cole. Say hello, Gloria and Lee.
Hi guys.
Hi guys, this is Lee.
All right, and what we're going to talk about tonight is LinkedIn, and basically how to do LinkedIn the right way. Gloria is a LinkedIn ninja. She's been at this for a while, and she is one of the most capable people that I know in business. She is very sharp. She knows what she's doing, and she knows how to build her personal network. She's much better at it than I am, and that's why I always listen to her, and especially when it comes to LinkedIn. I take everything that she says as the gospel because it always is. Lee Cole and I have been doing business together, and he is a sharp, very sharp copywriter and email marketer and networker in his own right. And Lee is going to come into the presentation at about the 45 to 50 minute mark and help you guys move along to the next step. In the meantime, we're going to turn everything over to Gloria, and she is going to literally burst your brain with LinkedIn information and how-tos. So now I am going to turn everything over to Gloria so she can share her screen. I think she has some slides for you, and we will get things moving. So, Gloria, I'm going to make you the presenter.
Okay.
And then I'm going to mute myself. And you now have the floor, Gloria.
Okay, great. Well, hi everybody. I'm really happy to be here and just really share some of the stuff that I know and have learned about LinkedIn, and this is going to be just tons of content. It should be very applicable content that you can actually take this information and actually run with it and do some great things with it. And I wanted to focus specifically tonight on LinkedIn for network marketers. I do consultation for network marketers on how to use LinkedIn for, to build their network marketing business, and I've done LinkedIn profiles, again, done consulting and stuff, and so these are some of the things that I kind of share with some of my consulting clients, and it's really how to use LinkedIn as a recruiting tool to reach more people in your network marketing business. And just really quickly, how many people are on LinkedIn and active on LinkedIn? Or can you kind of give me an idea if you're familiar with it? Sorry about that.
Yeah, if you guys will just type yes or no into the questions box. Okay. Yeah, we've got a
couple.
We got a couple. We got a few. We got one says he's on but not active. Not at all familiar with LinkedIn, and we have. About 90% of the people here are familiar.
Okay, good deal. So I just know how to kind of frame the information. So just a little bit about me. There's a picture of me, and there's a picture now. This is the ugliest dog in the world. He's my dog. Only a dog mother could love, a dog parent could love. That's Khan, but this is me. I don't know why I put that picture in there. I was just kind of feeling silly. But what happened and how I got into LinkedIn just really quickly was a couple of years ago as I was starting my consulting business. Everyone was saying you have to have a blog, you have to be on Facebook, you have to do Twitter and tweets, X amount of tweets per day, and LinkedIn, and it just really got overwhelming for me. And I had a really good friend who was really, she did a lot of Facebook stuff and did a lot more social media consulting than me at the time, and she said, you just really need to focus on LinkedIn. Just pick one and focus on it. And so I started to really get into LinkedIn, and I learned a lot about LinkedIn. And really saw the power of LinkedIn and how a lot of people were missing out on it. And from there, it just kind of evolved into, I have a teaching background. I used to teach at the university level, as well as I was a, like a systems analyst and stuff like that. So I kind of applied those two and said, we can kind of turn this LinkedIn into kind of a strategic way that people can actually grow their business. And I started using it and started getting, really business from it. And then what I did is I shared that information with people like Lee and other people that eventually turned into, kind of LinkedIn training. And so that's a little bit about me. And I've done some LinkedIn training just to kind of show you. I've got a lot of people that are really happy with it. Thanks so much about the information that you and Lee put out. Let me see, I've got some people saying, I just bought the course and I love it, that type of thing. And I can kind of go on and on where people are saying, I bought your course and I really love it. It's great information, that type of thing. So I've got a lot of happy clients that really like what I've done with LinkedIn and how I've kind of systematized it for people so that they can actually use it as really a network and a business building tool. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about this evening. So that's a little bit about me and a little bit about my background, but enough about me. I want to talk about LinkedIn, and I want to talk about kind of what you can do with LinkedIn. Okay, so this is, again, specifically for network marketing. Now, I am in a network marketing company, but I'm not going to talk about that network marketing company tonight or anything, just to kind of share with you that the stuff that I'm teaching you does work, because when I work it, I can get people on the phone and talk to them and prospect with LinkedIn all the time, any day of the week, and Lee can attest to that too. He's actually more disciplined at it than I am, and I mean, he's on the phone with people all the time that he's talked, that he's got off of LinkedIn. Isn't that right, Lee?
Oh, absolutely. So much so that I've actually had to sort of slow it down a little bit because it got a little overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to kind of start from the basics, and we'll go ahead and we'll talk about profile, and then if I have time I'll go into top link, but I'll definitely cover super connector status and why that's important. And then I'll talk about advanced search and give you some ideas of who should you be searching for, because I've had clients that are saying, they're network marketing, and they're saying, I'm looking for other network marketers and I'm not getting anywhere. Sometimes what happens is there's a little bit of a battle where they want to tell you about their opportunity, you want to tell them about your opportunity, and nobody really gets anywhere. So I'll talk a little bit about the types of people you should or could be searching for given the type of niches, the type of network marketing company that you're in, and what might be a better fit for you. And then we'll talk about how to make those connections on LinkedIn, and then how to organize those connections and those conversations, because LinkedIn is about building this warm market. And so what you're doing is you're always in this kind of follow-up and conversational process if you're doing it right, and you need to keep all that organized. So I'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll touch on reaching out, and then we'll just talk briefly. There's so much information, I can't really go over it all in about 45 or 50 minutes, but I'll talk about as much as I can. I'll briefly touch upon, updating and blogging on LinkedIn and the power of that, and then I'll even show you some stuff of like, what not to do. And then if you guys have any questions, then just feel free to put them in the chat box, and then we have either Roger or Lee that'll be fielding questions, and then I'll be happy to answer them as best as I can. Okay, so before you start actually with this reaching out process, what you want to do is you got to make sure your profile is optimized, and you want to make sure you're a super connector. So you got to do those two things before you start reaching out. And here is why, and I'll go ahead and show you on my LinkedIn profile, which I have open. Okay, so on my LinkedIn profile, this is the home page. So this is what you see when you log into LinkedIn. And it kind of has your updates, your connections or posting status updates, and their blogging and stuff. And however your settings are set, you'll see some of that stuff. And as I scroll down here, you can see that I have about 7,200 first-level connections, and my network is at about 22 million. Guys, I will never get through that 22 million people in my lifetime, and that 7,200 connections, that's the size of a small city, right, a small town. And so in my 7,200 connections, I have people that are kind of, you know, they're doing all types of things from different parts of the country, different countries as well, all different types of niches, all different types of occupations that are in my connections. And so I've got 7,200 connections there, but now I'm going to go to my profile page. And this is what somebody sees if they're kind of doing a search on me. And as you can see, I'll go over a couple of things with my profile. And this is not from the perspective, sorry, my computer was a little bit slow. This is not from the perspective that my profile is the be-all, end-all of all the profiles in the world, but there are some elements, there's some common elements that you can do with your profile so that you're presenting yourself in the best light possible. You want your profile to be like a silent salesperson, okay? And as you can see, because I want to connect with a lot of people, I did this when I was at 6.5 thousand connections, and I have, you know, kind of my heading, what I do. I have a professional headshot photo, but what's interesting here is you see it says 500 plus connections, but you saw on my home page where I actually had 7,200 connections. And this is where LinkedIn is kind of the great equalizer. You do not know whether, just looking at this, whether I have 501 connections or whether I have 5,001 connections or 15,000 connections. And so it kind of puts us on the level playing field. And because LinkedIn works in 3 degrees of separation, it's you know, kind of like my network is the people in my connections are my first level connections. And then if I connect with you, what will happen is my 7,200 connections will become your second level connections. And so people on LinkedIn, because it's all about networking, they like to connect with people that have lots of connections, because it's not necessarily me that might bring value or be able to connect you or introduce you to somebody, but it could be one of my connections. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So it's all about the connections, and because LinkedIn does a couple of degrees down, it kind of multiplies very quickly and exponentially. Okay, so I've got a nice headshot, I've got a nice heading, I have this information here about what I do, and then as you take a look at my profile, I actually have this, I never spam or IDK, because I'm kind of encouraging people to connect with me, and then I actually have a first person, very brief summary with a call to action. And then it tells you know how you can connect with me, and you know, because I want to get offline with these people as quickly as possible. And then I talk about my experience in first person. I've got you know some recommendations from people I used to work with and stuff like that. And so that's pretty much somebody looking at this profile could get a sense of who I am and what I'm about and my level of experience and expertise and my education background, all of that stuff. So they get a sense of who I am. Am I a professional, that type of thing. And that's what you're trying to do with your profile, is kind of make it your silent salesperson. Okay, so once you have that, then what you're going to want to do is then you can start connecting with people. Okay, and I'll go ahead and show you how. Now, for those that don't have the connections and they're not to like super connector status, you may say, well, how can I go ahead and get connected very quickly? And there are a couple of ways to do that. One of the quickest ways is if we go right up here to our search bar, and we're going to go to Advanced People Search. My computer is really slow. I think GoToWebinar just beats the heck out of it. And so I already am connected to first level connections, so I don't want to be, you know, I'm looking for new connections. And if I just did a search for Lion, and Lion in LinkedIn means LinkedIn Open Networker. Those are people that just want to have a lot of connections. And if I just did a search of Lion for my second level and my group members, and I just clicked search, it's going to give me more than enough than 500 connections. I get 20,000 connections. So what do I do once I do a search with Lions? I would just hit connect, 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 connect. You could do probably about 100 a day and be safe. And at this point, it's just a matter of connecting. Okay, you're not gonna, send them this long, drawn-out email and say, "Please connect with me. I have a lot to offer," anything like that. You're just going to do the connection. Okay, we don't start conversing with people until we actually make that connection. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to move right along. So you begin reaching out by hitting connect, 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 connect. Okay, and once you do that, now what's going to happen is you're going to be a lot of connections, and you're going to build yourself to super connector status. And then from there, it actually does snowball. Now, once you get to super connector status and your profile looks really good, what I teach my consulting clients is that the first thing is a profile. The second thing is to get to super connector status. And then what you want to do is, once you have enough of a network built up, now you can actually do some advanced searching on LinkedIn, and you can identify a target. And you can, LinkedIn actually has a really great search algorithm, because if you look at what they're aggregating data on, they're aggregating data on our current occupation, they're aggregating data on our current position, previous positions, information on our summary, information on our heading, those types of things. So they're compiling and aggregating all that data, and that gives us a lot of information that we can search on. And LinkedIn has a lot of search features that you can use just in their normal service. You don't have to have a premium service or anything like that. So you're a super connector, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to now get more strategic on your targeting. Okay, and this is where a lot of people get a little bit hung up, and just to kind of give you some pointers, I had a client, and she is here in Las Vegas, and she does network marketing, and she has a really big network, a really big business actually, and she has one of those network marketing deals that's it does like financial counseling or something like that, financial training and education and stuff. And what she did before LinkedIn is she built up her business. She worked at a bank. I think she was like either a mortgage banker or a business banker, and she was in contact with people that I think it was realtors and mortgage brokers and other banking people all day long, every day, and that's how she built her network. Her network marketing business, excuse me. So she actually had people that had similar interest, and she was able to kind of connect with them and build out her warm market. And you can kind of do the same thing on LinkedIn. For example, if you are in a health and wellness network marketing company, then look for people who are personal trainers or in the wellness industry that might want to offer adjacent type of services. If you're in a network marketing company that's offering training or business services, then look for people that offer those business services. I mean, that's kind of what I do. And that's my approach, is I look for people that are kind of like me and have similar, are doing this similar stuff as I do, and I say, hey, I'm offering adjacent services. Is this something you'd be interested in? I don't really say that, but it's kind of that idea. Okay, so that's how you want to decide on who you're going to target. You have to think about it. If I'm in the health and wellness, don't target other network marketing people necessarily. Target people in that industry. And I've actually consulted people that were doing some like gold, network marketing for gold and stuff, and I said target people in the financial services industry. I consulted with someone that was doing network marketing for insurance services, and I said, target other insurance type of people. You guys have a common ground. Your business is just offering adjacent services, and that's kind of the approach that you'd want to make. Okay, so hopefully, does that make sense? Do I hear any yays or nays? Any questions up to this point?
Nope, we're good to go. Everybody says they understand.
Okay, cool. All right, so with that being said, with a little strategy behind how you target people, you can use the advanced search function on LinkedIn to do that. Okay, and I'm just using like the health and wellness as an example, and just, let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can find some personal trainers and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to LinkedIn, and I'm going to go to my advanced search. I'm going to clear this out. Okay, and then so what I would do here is we could do personal trainers. Trainer, okay, and if you notice, I don't do plural because when I'm, someone who's doing their own LinkedIn profile is going to refer to themselves as a personal trainer. And I put it in quotes just to have a Boolean exact search. And so with a large network, I could probably get away with first level connections, maybe second level and group members. Look for personal trainers anywhere in the United States, let's just say, and I'm going to search and see who pops up. Okay, so I don't know why it does this. LinkedIn is kind of acting squirrely. For some reason, it doesn't clear out sometimes. And you have to trainer. For some reason it doesn't clear that out. I don't know why. Let me see if it'll. Okay, I think it did it now. Okay, so I did personal trainer. Let's pretend I'm in the health and wellness, and you see there's a bunch of people I could connect with that are personal trainers. And so what I would start to do if I wanted to target them is I would start with a connection, and then from the connection you build a relationship, if that makes sense. Okay, so as you see with LinkedIn, you can search on keywords. You can search with all these criteria, people with a specific first name, people you could do, I want personal trainers in, within a 50-mile radius of a particular zip code to try to find people. I could do companies, titles, anything like that. So you have a bunch of different search features that you can use in LinkedIn, and it'll give you a good start for making those connections, and then from those connections you build those relationships. Okay. So once you have those connections, then what you want to do is you have to kind of think of LinkedIn as a virtual, almost like a virtual chamber of commerce, or a situation of how would I react if I was actually in a meeting with them somewhere. You're going to try to have a conversation. You're going to try to find common ground, and that's what you want to do on LinkedIn. Is once you connect with people, you look at their profile and things of that nature, and then if there's a way to connect to bring the conversation forward a little bit, you're going to want to do that. Okay, so it's all about, remember, creating a warm market. You're not trying to sell them anything on LinkedIn. Okay, don't do that. Just warm the market up, and then once they become warm, then you create that relationship, and then at the appropriate time, present your opportunity or talk to them about it, something like that, if that makes sense. Okay, I wanted to just go over, I see we're running a little bit low on time, and I kind of showed you where you could, in the search bar, you can actually use some Boolean strings just like with Google. Okay, I'm not going to demonstrate it for you for lack of time, but you can see based on what I did with personal trainer, there's a couple of others. You can do parentheses, and then you can do and or not, and I'll talk about those briefly. So we can do an exact search just like we did personal trainer, and so I wanted to expand the search a little bit and say I'm looking for people that have personal trainer and the word fitness in their profile, so it has to be a combination of both. Or I can put portions of that in parentheses and say I'm looking for certified trainers, or I'm looking for certified fitness trainers. So they might say they might refer to themselves as a fitness trainer. So you have a couple of methods that you want to play with so that you can get this search down. And then these and or not is for putting two terms together for within a profile. Trainers and wellness, dentist and orthodontist has to be in all caps. Or is again either or, vice president or VP. and then not as an exclusion term. Okay, so you could kind of play around with those whenever you're doing some advanced searching in LinkedIn. Okay, does anybody have any questions up to this point? Okay. If you do, just feel free to stop me. So with LinkedIn, once you start making these contacts, then you're going to want to stay organized with these contacts. And how we do that is through tagging. And tagging is just a way that you can quickly, it's just like any other tag you see in YouTube or whatever, where you can identify a particular connection by a short code that you create. And then what you can do is you can kind of search on that later. So let's say, for example, let me show you how that would work. I've got connections here. I'm going to go to my connections. Really sorry about how slow my computer is. And I'm filtering all contacts. And as you can see here, I can actually filter by different ways. So right now it's sorted by recent conversation. I can filter by people in a specific company. I can filter by tags. And what I did is I created a tag here called thank you email. I tagged him with thank you email. And let's go ahead and just tag Terrence. I'll remove him, but I'm just going to go ahead and tag him with the thank you email. All right, now what I could do is I could actually create another tag. I say, well, it wasn't thank you email, it was, the second email. So I can do second email in this tag. Okay. And as long as you keep your tags consistent, then you'll be able to sort by this as well. All right, so now what I want to do is, I want to see and maybe see if there's any way I can follow up with people that I sent a thank you email. And so what I would do is I would go here and filter, and I would filter by tag, and with my tag I would filter with thank you email. Okay, and as you can see, he was tagged with thank you email, so was he, so was Jowl, so was Reginald. I did a couple more. And so that's how you can use tags to kind of help you stay organized. Okay, now if I look at Steve here, what I can do too in LinkedIn that's really nice is that it'll actually help you stay a little bit organized within LinkedIn, so you don't have to keep looking, like outside LinkedIn into a CRM system. So what'll happen, I don't want to endorse them right at this point. Not in the middle of this. So it'll go ahead and it'll, when he sent an email to me, I sent an email to him, and it's kind of recorded here in the profile, so I can look at it and kind of see what's going on at a quick glance. Now I can actually set a note if I wanted to set a note, or I can set a reminder and say, yeah, talk to him, great conversation, follow up in 2 days. And then I would set a reminder, for the date to contact him back. Okay, so you can actually stay a little bit organized in LinkedIn as well. Does that make sense, guys? Is this helping anybody get any ideas so that they could use LinkedIn a little bit more efficiently?
And everybody is they're saying they're right there with you.
Okay, all right, very good. So I just talked about the notes here on LinkedIn, on how you can create notes and set reminders, and it's just a lot easier than going in and out of LinkedIn. You can do a lot of things, so when you're working in LinkedIn, you can work strictly in LinkedIn. And what I recommend is don't put them in a CRM system just yet. I would not put them in a CRM until they've actually become a warm lead for you, or a warm relationship. Okay, because you don't want to do spam. Like, here's what, well, I'll show you a little bit later, like what not to do. I've got a really good screenshot of that. Okay, let's talk briefly about the reach out process. Again, LinkedIn is about reaching out. It's about building relationships. It's about positioning. It's about attraction marketing. So the first step is you want to get them to connect. It's that generic connection. The second step is simply send them a thank you email. Dear so-and-so, thank you for connecting with me. If there's anything I can do for you, such as make an introduction, give you a referral, please let me know. All the best. And what will happen is not everybody will get back to you. And don't worry about it. People are busy. The ones that will get back to you, they value networking. They understand the power of networking. And either, you know, you can have a relationship with them or somebody in their network. Remember, it's about developing that warm market and then reaching down into, you know, your market's market as well. All right, so you kind of start the conversation like this, and then based on, you know, the response that you get, you would go back and forth and, you know, do another email and try to find a common ground to see if there's any way you could possibly work together. Now, this is not the time to just you know, send them, I got a video I got to send you or something like that. You don't want to do that because it's really, it's you know, people are so sick of spam nowadays that a lot of times those just don't even get a response. You're much better off and you're going to get much more response by doing something like this. And Lee, maybe you can kind of attest to this because this is the method that I taught you that you use, and you seem to really, you know, you like it and it works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just sitting here thinking, you know, when I first started on LinkedIn, when you and I first started talking about it, I was just having a horrible time. I was getting in touch with all the wrong people. I wasn't positioning myself right. But when I started doing things the way you told me to do them, it actually took off so well that for about a month now I've had to pull back, basically. And this approach of yours with people is so incredibly important because it's kind of like attraction marketing. You really want people to get to know you and to come to you without you throwing up your stuff all over them. And, you know, you and I both are, every time we checked our LinkedIn messages, you get some humongous message by somebody telling you a bunch of stuff that you don't care about, frankly, because you don't know the person yet.
Exactly.
So you got to put people before the information. People don't really care about the information until you know that you care about them, frankly.
Yeah, that's right. If you use it as a networking tool and a tool to build out your warm market, you're doing it virtually, but you're building out a warm market, then your prospecting is going to be a lot easier and it's going to be more receptive. Okay, so I think that's kind of the big thing is you respect people. You just don't, the second that you connect with them, just, you know, send them out a video cold or something like that. And I've actually had stuff like that. I have that stuff happen to me all the time, and it becomes a numbers game for them because it doesn't get anybody anywhere. So that's a little bit about what to do and what not to do. You know, again, don't be desperate and, oh, I got someone connecting with me, now I'm going to see, you know, send them my video and stuff like that. It's not a good idea and it will not get you far. Don't be in too much of a rush with that relationship that you're creating. Now, this doesn't have to lollygag on forever, but if there's a reason for you guys to talk business, then talk business. If there's not and there's no common ground, then how many more hundreds of millions of people are on LinkedIn? Don't worry about it. You know, connect with more people, get a bigger network. When you do connect with people, get to know them first. Okay, again, the biggest turnoff is making a connection and then have them try to sell you before a relationship is made, just to give you an idea. Now, this doesn't have to do with network marketing per se. I've got some with network marketing, and I'll tell you some of the things that have happened. This is someone I connected with, and the first thing, and this was just a piece of software that he used. Hi, Dr. Dentist. I see you're a dentist in the city. I do this, this, and this. Now, yeah, I'm going to jump all over that, right? And I don't think so. So you don't want to do something like that. And, you know, I actually did. I connected actually with people that are in my company that I'm in, just to, you know, I just wanted to connect. I wanted to run a test to see what would happen. And, I mean, they were just kind of on me like a scalded dog, as Lee would say. Oh, I see that, you know, you do business consulting in Las Vegas, and, you know, have I got a deal for you today, one of those deals. And it was just such a, I mean, it was just a big turnoff because they didn't even get a chance to, you know, build any type of relationship. There was nothing, no foundation to build on. So, of course, I just, you know, I I think I actually ignored them because I don't really respond too well to that. So I don't try to like, oh, let me try to turn it around and let me show them my stuff or anything like that. I mean, there's plenty of people on LinkedIn. So, your job really on LinkedIn is to try to sort through, because there's going to be you're sorting through the wheat and the chaff, and you're getting to people, and you want to just kind of find the people that are going to be receptive to you. Okay, so that's a little bit about what not to do. And anybody have any questions or comments or anything up to this point about any of the specifics or anything like that?
Nope. Everybody says they're
No?
still right with you.
Okay. All right, good deal. All right, so this is actually, so we're not going to, I guess we won't have any Q&A or whatever, that's fine. What to do once the connection is made. All right, what you want to do is you want to cultivate the relationship. If you get an email that is not spam, just respond to it. And your job is always to try to move that relationship forward as appropriate. And then once you've kind of laid a little bit of a foundation, and it doesn't take much, it's literally just a few emails back and messages in LinkedIn, maybe one or two, and then you can actually start conversations with people just by congratulating them and wishing them happy birthday as well. You want to create that positive first impression, just like Lee said, put the people first, and then once you do that and you put the person in first in front of what you have to offer, then what you want to do is you're going to want to try to move that relationship offline. Okay, I don't have it in the slide, but what you want to do is, if appropriate, see if they have time to chat on the phone, and then see if you guys can either connect on the phone. I use Skype a lot, so a lot of times I'll connect with people and talk to people on Skype, and it's a phone conversation basically. And try to get that relationship to where, is there something mutually beneficial that we can do? Is what I have to offer, my network marketing opportunity, something that they would benefit from? And is it appropriate to kind of, present that to them? Are they open, receptive? That's what I look for when I'm building these relationships and trying to take them offline. I try to get a gauge of where they are in their professional situation, how they're doing. If there's any issues with what they're doing, are they looking for anything else as either adjacent services or other ways to make income? And then if I get an idea of yes, then it's perfectly acceptable to present the opportunity to them. Okay? So we've, kind of covered a bunch of stuff in a very short period of time, and I think we have a few minutes where I can talk a little bit about branding and attraction marketing. There's so much more on LinkedIn than just a 35 or 45-minute training course. We haven't scratched the surface, but and start with these fundamentals. Start with a really good profile, start with a super connector status, start with getting used to how to build those relationships in a virtual manner on LinkedIn, and then you can move to doing some serious attraction marketing, and you can do that through LinkedIn updates and blogging and creating and participating in group membership on LinkedIn. Okay, so Lee, did you want to just mention something regarding, because you're actually a big attraction marketer on LinkedIn.
Yeah, it works amazingly well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is such a seriously large subject that I can't do it justice, but basically, if you guys, it does a bunch of stuff. All right.
Mm-hmm.
People find your content and they reach out to you. You're pre-branding yourself. It is probably the easiest and best place right now for this kind of stuff to do any kind of attraction marketing campaign. Mm-hmm. I personally use a combination of YouTube and LinkedIn and my own blog, and that is amazing. And Gloria, you remember when I Skyped you. This is like after you had straightened me out, and I had been like 2 months into the LinkedIn thing, and I said, guess what? You said, what? I said, I just got contacted by a reporter from Al Jazeera who wants to interview me.
I remember, yeah.
She thought I was some sort of whatever about, you know, the new economy, guru about the new economy and all this stuff. And, you know, I am in my head, right? But seriously. I mean, that was hilarious. I mean, you know, and she was trying every which way to get a hold of me. LinkedIn, Twitter, you know, I need to talk to you in the next few hours because, you know, we need some quotes and some stuff for a thing we're doing tomorrow. You know, I get on the phone and talk to her. I said, are you really a reporter from Al Jazeera? But my point is, that is how amazingly powerful this platform is. We don't really have time to get into the nuances and the details. I mean, you have seriously just sort of, this is great stuff, Gloria, but there is so much more. I was so lucky that I knew you, and I could just Skype you and say, okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? Okay, look at this. Is this good? Did I do it right? You know, like that. But with what you've got here, with what is just on this webinar, people can get an amazing amount of traction with just this.
Yeah, I think so. They could definitely do that, and get a, you know, just kind of get started and be consistent and stuff on LinkedIn. And there is so much more, but again, for now, focus on kind of the profile, get to 500 plus connections, and then start warming your connections and building out your network. And I think if you did that, you'd go a long way. So, I mean, bottom line is, you know, LinkedIn, it's really a great tool for networking and recruiting if done the right way. The good news is that most people don't do it the right way, so if you do it the right way and the appropriate way with trying to build a warm market, you're going to stand out just by, you know, leaps and bounds. And this is a way that you can actually start building a lot of warm relationships. And I talk to people all the time with network marketing, and they say, you know, I burned through my warm market and I don't have anybody else I can really, you know, talk to about this. And so LinkedIn kind of gives you a way that you can create a vast warm market. Okay, and then when the time is right, you can actually approach them, and you can actually you know, start using it as a recruiting tool. So, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and think I'm going to have Lee take it away.
Cool beans. And y'all hear my remarkably well-trained dog in the background, I think. Yeah, this is really amazing. You know, a bunch of stuff about LinkedIn. When you're looking at MLM or network marketing businesses, the way the businesses work in general is they work because there's a personal relationship first, and then people get interested in your company. I mean, people don't join your company. I don't care if you're in health and wellness, financial services, travel, whatever. People don't really join your company because of the company. Yes, the company is very important. It's important that there's a matchup. But they don't just join because of the company. They join or you sponsor them, or however you say it within the company that you're in, because of the personal relationship. And that's why LinkedIn works so well for this, because LinkedIn done right, the way you just showed us to do it, Gloria, puts the personal relationship first before you even get to, you know, asking someone, hey, I'm doing this cool thing, would you like to know about it? Yeah, sure, blah, 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 and then you take it from there. So, Gloria, as you said, there is so much more, and I was not joking when I said I was super lucky that I knew you, because you know, you're an amazing resource for this. But you have put together an incredible course about LinkedIn. It's called Leads from LinkedIn, and I want to show you all something. Just one second. The way Gloria and I have known each other for several years, but she came to me and she said, you know, I've got this amazing course. Would you like to look at it? And when I saw what was in here, I mean, it's like a master's degree in networking on LinkedIn. It was amazing, and I went through this, and that, you know, coupled with just knowing Gloria, totally straightened me out. We have put together an incredible deal on this course today. I will tell you about the deal in a minute, but just, guys, this is not a canned pitch. If you're thinking I'm going to do some sort of slick salesman thing, I'm not, because I'm sitting here stumbling, fumbling all around. I just want to show you what's in here. And then if you think it's right for you, if you think this is the kind of thing that will help you move the ball forward for you as it did for me. Now let me just give you a little check here. Within the past, Gloria, what would you say it would be, about 6 weeks? I've personally put 10 people in my business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe 7 weeks. I don't know the exact day, but that's some major traction there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you do that over a year, you're going to qualify for the car. I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you all what this is. I've got the members area open on another browser over here. Forget this. This is just various stuff on the same site. You want to look right here in the middle. Leads from LinkedIn, multi-level marketing course. This is the inside of the members area. Now, Gloria spent an amazing amount of time creating this entire course. Gloria, just as we just sort of bopped through here, why don't you tell me a little bit about it? Module 1, how to network, which I think is pretty much an overview of what you said, but even that goes into a lot more detail. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Virtually all of these have downloadables.
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn target market development. You remember what I told you when things started really hopping and popping for the business that guys were both in the same business. I brought Gloria in, but when things started really hopping and popping in my business, I said, you know what? One of the big keys to this was I am talking to the right people. Remember that?
Exactly.
Well, you can target the right people, and just as Gloria said, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be in health and wellness, you could be in financial services, you could be travel, whatever. LinkedIn, used intelligently with all of the search features that this course teaches you how to do, you can essentially build a humongous number of contacts of people who are exactly the kind of people to talk to for your opportunity. And again, downloadable there. Advanced search in LinkedIn. Gloria just sort of did the baby version of the advanced search in the webinar just now. There's so much more cool stuff that you can do in advanced search, and you go into that in great detail. This is a really, really good one. Posting and managing group activities. In case y'all aren't that familiar with LinkedIn, you have groups just like in Facebook. A cool thing to do is to start your own group. Of course, let's say you're in a health and wellness MLM. You start a health and wellness group. You put the right people in there. Now they're kind of a captive audience. You're branding yourself. You are putting yourself on a pedestal compared to them. Not in an egocentric way, but you are essentially edifying yourself. And you do that through not only creating groups, managing those groups, but posting information into those groups. So this covers all of that. Next steps. The thing I love about Gloria is her brain is so analytical, whereas mine's not. She breaks everything down into the most amazing little baby steps that anybody can follow. And she over-delivers like crazy. There's a massive number of bonuses with this course. And she even Skyped me right before the webinar and said, Lee, I've got some more cool stuff that I think will really help people. Can you please add that in? And wasn't I very calm when you did that? This was like 30 minutes before the webinar?
It was surprising.
Yeah, I was like a doctor doing surgery. I say, anything you want. We'll just change the whole thing. But she was very adamant because she remembered that she and I had done some really in-depth webinar-based training on certain aspects of LinkedIn, so she wanted to add this whole thing in. I'll show you that down here in a minute. Word cloud and keyword selection. This has a lot to do with how you, a couple of things. How you write your profile, that's how other people are going to find you. It also has to do with how you find the right people. And again, of course, you know, how to set up and create your profile, another bonus. This is very much, I know I kind of lost my place there, very much like almost a master's degree in LinkedIn. LinkedIn overview, which I wouldn't really call that one an overview. That one's got some really cool stuff in it. How to put leads in your pipeline and the sales funnel. Of course, guys, just because you got a bunch of people, now, that's step number one, having a bunch of people contacting you, talking to you, interacting with you on LinkedIn, you must have that. That's like standing on first base in baseball. You got to hit that one. But just because you have that doesn't mean that you move the runner home, doesn't mean that you close the sale, doesn't mean that you get the person into your opportunity. This video speaks to that.
Mm-hmm.
How to add to your LinkedIn profile, how to beef it out correctly with new things and other things. The profile is one of the keys. The profile is like your big attraction magnet. Gloria also templatizes virtually everything she does,
Yeah.
which I find hilarious. Because I'm sure I drive her crazy because my brain is just like going 50 million miles an hour in 40 different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of cool stuff here. We've got even more bonuses, which I think is insane. Yeah, I mean, you guys see how much information's here. Now, more templates, lots of templates. Essentially what you can do is what I did, which is get this stuff printed out, follow it, and then do it. My LinkedIn profile went from horrible. This is the new bonus material right here. My LinkedIn profile went from really horrible. I mean, it was just horrible. It was like a dead dog. To just, I am now a LinkedIn superstar, for real. It's crazy. And it did that within probably, it started really getting traction, Gloria, I would say, well, really at the end of the first week, but that first to second week
Yep.
was when I was Skyping you like 5 times a day saying,
Yeah,
look how many
exactly.
connections I got now. Look at this person that reached out to you. Oh, my God, somebody from Al Jazeera wants to interview me. They think I'm a freaking expert about something. What am I going to do? Of course, you know me, I'm
So
such a
funny.
good man. I just sat there and talked to them and pretended that I was.
Mm-hmm.
This webinar that we did is just amazing because it's all about lead generation, capturing leads, converting them. It's really focused on sales stuff. And y'all can
that's
see how much you
important.
get here. Remarketing to people. I mean, this is amazing, in-depth stuff. And we've got even more bonuses right here. Gloria, if you look up in the dictionary, over-deliverer, you're going to see a picture right next to it.
Right.
And don't be overwhelmed by this, guys. As you saw on the webinar, Gloria's an amazing teacher. It's just that your one thing, your one tool for networking, for marketing yourself, for your opportunity could be LinkedIn, just that one tool.
I think
You
if you
can
focused
literally-
on that, yeah, you'd be good to go.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to be slightly crass here, but you could literally sit on your butt. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing it part-time or full-time because, as you guys know, I run a couple of other businesses, and I was doing my LinkedIn stuff on a very part-time basis. You can, and you don't have to do it during business hours either. You could squeeze this in right before you go to work or when you come home. This is the webinar that we did, which goes into some really, really killer stuff, and this is what Gloria wanted me to add at the last minute. So, guys, you get all this. I can't even count how much material, how many downloads, and how many videos you get. Let's just cut to the chase here. Leads from LinkedIn video course beefed out with about 40 million bonuses. Now, this is the price. Okay, the rest of this tells you exactly what you can get. It's a short version of what I just told you, and we're going to send you the link to this just so that so you can look at this page if you want to. But this is the price. Now, I'm going to show you something. Roger, can you look at the chat? Because I'm going to ask everybody a question. Is everybody paying attention? I really need to know that everybody's paying attention.
Yes.
Because I'm about to save you guys, no joke. And if y'all have known me for a while, you know Lee Cole loves to make money. But I'm about to save you guys a ton of money. If you decide that you want to buy this, if you decide, yeah, I'm in, this is for me, so obviously you click the button, okay? We run it through JVSU, so just bear with me here. Or go ahead and buy it right there and pay me more money. That would be fine too. I'm just joking. But now what we've done is we put a coupon code on here. This coupon code is going to be good for 72 hours. Now, The coupon code, let me pull up a notepad for you guys because I want to make real sure that if you want to save some money, you can do it. 2 capital L's and a 100. Now, by the way, if you want to get to that page that I just showed you, type in bit.ly/leads100. If you guys could put that in the chat to everybody, that'd be great. But now let's put this coupon code in here. Let me show you how this works. Hang on, my Firefox decided to not respond there for a second. So just put that coupon code right there. Now notice that says 197. We're going to apply that.
And Lee, what was the bit.ly link again?
Leads 100. Now, did you see that? Look, when I put the coupon code in here and apply it, look what the price is now. Gloria Roger made me do this. I'm not going to own up to this myself. I would never do such a thing. But, yeah, that took a substantial amount off. So what you want to do is you want to put L100, hit apply. You'll see that there. Check out with PayPal. That's how you do that. So if you want to pay us a lot more money for this, you're more than welcome to. We will love you even more than we do. But if you want to save yourself a serious amount of money, then put in L100 right there. This is going to be available for 3 days. So Wednesday through Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night sometime. It's currently 9 o'clock, so let's say Saturday night, 9 o'clock. We cut that off. I think actually I cut off the coupon code a little earlier, but I'll go back and, doctor the date up so it's good through them. So folks, that's what we have for you. I very rarely tell people this. I mean, I can say this because I'm like a third party. If you are interested in learning how to make LinkedIn work for you 24/7 like it does for me, seriously, you'd be crazy not to get this at this price. I mean, you saw what was there. So, you know. Any questions anybody has that we can help you out with, and anything you want to review about what comes with the course? Gloria, you have more bonuses than course there, by the way.
I know, yeah. The bonuses, I really like to use LinkedIn as, think about it strategically.
Yes, I know. It's amazing.
Yeah, because you kind of map out a plan and then you work the plan. So that's really what the information is geared towards, is how to map out a plan and then work that plan using LinkedIn as the tool. And to me, it becomes much more effective when you do that. It's not just, happenstance and stuff like that. So I put a little bit of strategery into it as well.
A lot of strategery. I told you that I had bought a very expensive LinkedIn course really about this time last year. And that course was what made me such a failure. Seriously. And I'm not going to mention anything because, I thought it was good stuff. I paid, I think about $400 for it. It might have been $397. I'm pretty sure it was $397. And, I just went through it, just like I normally do. And, I'm doing it, I'm working it, and then I'm thinking, LinkedIn is garbage. I mean, that first phone call that I had with you about LinkedIn, I said, well, how do you get most of your business? You said LinkedIn. I was stunned. I said, that's crazy, man. LinkedIn is garbage. You said, no, it's not. And then you said, let me look at your profile. And, Gloria's so polite she wouldn't say this, but in her mind she was thinking, yeah, your profile is what's garbage. But because, I mean, I had done everything wrong, but see, I'd done it with this other course, right? And when I started doing it right, I mean, it was amazing. I have people that I'm in contact with besides reporters who want to interview me. That still blows my mind.
Well, you get people on the phone all the time. I mean, I do too. When I work my LinkedIn profile, I have people that I'm talking to about my opportunity. Yeah, easily 1 to 2 a day.
I told you I just hung up the phone with, I can't say his name, I told you I just hung up with the phone with a guy who had sold his Silicon Valley business like a year ago. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and we were talking about another company. Remember that? And he says, well, let me see their website. He says, do you know so-and-so and so-and-so? He's talking about the principals in the company. I said, no, I don't know them. He said, well, that guy's a friend of mine. And I mean, the quality of people that you get on LinkedIn is just huge.
It's amazing. A while ago, I connected with somebody and talked to them. They were offering similar services as I did, and so that was our common ground, and we set a time to talk on the phone. And come to find out, he had a membership site of I forget what type of professionals it was, but it was like 20,000 professionals that he does a membership site, and they pay him a monthly fee for him to provide information in that membership site. They're all on his list, so I mean, it was just amazing the type of people that you actually find on there. And I think you talked to someone not recent. I think it was not too long ago that was
2 weeks ago. He had an email list of 20.
That CPA guy or something.
He was in the financial markets, actually closed a deal with him within a few days of talking to him. I mean, you get really serious people. And the thing is, if you do it wrong, I've done it both ways. If you do it wrong, then LinkedIn is just a giant waste of time and a spam fest. But if you use your strategy and the way you set up your profile, and also in the course that we have, we go into the blogging, we go into the attraction marketing and all that stuff. If you do all of that kind of stuff, you really, really set yourself up to be viewed as a major player in whatever you're doing. The branding, the positioning in other people's heads. Talk to you. Well, there was that guy who I met here in Atlanta at Starbucks.
Yeah.
He brought his book. He just published a book. On it was like I think that day it was the #2 seller on Amazon in nonfiction. I mean, they just found me and through LinkedIn and said, "Hey, Lee, can we sit down and talk? Can we sit down at Starbucks and talk? I need to run some stuff by you." And we're working on some stuff with him. So. I mean, obviously, I'm very excited about LinkedIn myself. I just get really passionate about it because it's so amazingly powerful.
And it's actually, it works for a great recruiting tool. So
yeah. Roger, does anybody have any questions that we need to talk about before we go? Because I mean, I'm happy to stay here if somebody has some questions.
Will you go back to
any questions on LinkedIn or anything?
Yeah, will you go back to the product page that shows the videos and do a quick run through from top to bottom and give us the headings, the name of each module?
Yeah, okay, so guys, the way you have to understand this, it's a course, and then Gloria kept adding bonuses.
I just wanted to deliver.
So let's look at the big picture a minute. Forget this part over here. You're looking at this vertical here. The course goes from here to there. It's a 5-module course, which, by the way, Gloria was just selling originally those 5 modules for much more than the $97. And then, in Gloria fashion, she started adding all these bonuses. And I mean, so now, do you see where my little slider is right here? So 1/4 of this page is course, the other 3/4 is bonuses. But the thing is, I've been working with Gloria and helping her package this stuff in various ways and getting it out to various markets. So and basically, as we found new things that people wanted to learn, we started creating more bonus material for this because LinkedIn is huge.
Yeah.
So the course itself is worth far more than the $97, but with the bonuses, you have an amazing. If you go through this, you will, and it won't take you forever to go through this. I mean, you're looking at a weekend, but if you go through this, you will be in position to make LinkedIn just totally rock like I do.
Yeah, it goes in. The bonuses really expand on the main
Yes.
course material,
Yes.
more like really in depth.
So
So
we got an
that's
overview. So start with this one. We got an overview video. And then a video just how to network on LinkedIn. Now that may seem stupid because LinkedIn is all about networking. Who doesn't know how to network on LinkedIn? Well, my hand is straight up in the air right now because I didn't. Okay, I did, and I tell you something, a lot of people don't.
I
That's
showed
where
you
the
some
spam
of
comes
the
from.
I showed you some of the crazy emails I get from people, the messages I get
Right.
from people.
Well, I get those too.
Yeah,
And that just makes you
exactly.
look like a complete idiot, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like anti-branding, frankly. It's like I would never
Yeah,
do business
exactly.
with that person.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You're just an idiot. But so how to network. In other words, this is the big picture of how the pros do it on LinkedIn. Virtually everything comes with its own downloadable.
Mm-hmm. A transcript.
This one, again, I got to talk about this one because, you know, talking to the right people for network marketing is one of the huge keys. That was the first year I was in. I personally came to the network marketing field later than other people. I've been and still do internet marketing and just got into network marketing for the obvious reasons of recurring income, building an asset, et cetera, et cetera. But just like everybody, I failed for a while, quite a while actually. And one of the big light bulb moments for me was I was talking to the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like when I got that in my head and I started matching up who I was talking to with what I was talking about, then it was like I was in some kind of water chute because it was like I was just going straight down and coming into the business and, you know, things were all doing what they were supposed to.
I mean,
Well,
11 people into the business in 6 weeks, and then you've got more
and I've been
lined
doing
up.
this part-time because,
Yeah,
you know,
more lined up, right?
yeah, I've got this whole stack of people to call back, which I keep referring to on my desk. And, you know, we've been, in our other business, we've been in product creation mode. So I'm just doing this thing part-time, frankly. But target market development, key. The searching, I did not understand the searching. I didn't I know what a Boolean string is. I mean, I studied a little computer science in college, but that was way back when. But I didn't really know how to do it. I didn't really understand how to. See, these two go together, actually, when you think about it, because you've got to use the advanced search to find the right people.
Yeah, and the advanced search helps you, I mean, basically with all the data, look at LinkedIn as a huge data aggregator.
Exactly.
And with all of that data, you can do different type of search functions to find a lot of not only just do, you know, connecting and stuff like that, but you can actually gather intel and kind of be very strategic about how you build your network marketing business. And so that's kind of more about what that is very, very strategic searching and intel gathering. So
you can find the right people. Your example of the personal trainers was spot on. I mean, if you're in health and wellness, you can use the search features to find personal trainers, find groups with personal trainers. You can do what Gloria says. You can make connections with those people. You can build a whole tribe of those people. You can build relationships with those people. And then when you say, I noticed you're a personal trainer in Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, well, I got a cool thing I'm doing which might really help you make more money out of your business. You want to hop on the phone sometime and talk to me about it? Surely, I'd love to. You know, because by that time, it's not even a cold lead, it's a warm lead.
That's right.
That is how you do it. Posting and managing group activity. I mean, the posting, you know, your profile, Gloria goes into great detail in your profile in this course for profile, and the posting you're doing, I call that your silent salesperson, because that is what people who are lurking, people who wonder, well, who is this guy? Well, let me go look at his profile. Who is she? That's a pretty interesting thing she posted there. Let me go look at her profile. So then you start building curiosity. It's the old attraction marketing thing. And then people start reaching out to you, like the guy that said, hey, Lee, can you meet me at Starbucks? I need to talk to you about maybe, you know, doing some marketing together, because he knew how to do some things, and there were other things that he just didn't know how to do. Fortunately for him, I do. Next steps, again, step by step,
Action
baby
plan,
step.
yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
Gloria is all about getting it done. And then we started to the bonuses right here. Word cloud and keyword selection. This has a lot to do with your profile.
And
You
searching,
want
yeah.
the right
SEO.
people, and searching. You want the right people to find you. Okay? That guy, again, the Starbucks guy, he found me. I did nothing for that. It just had a message that appeared in my message thing on LinkedIn one day, and he said, "Hi, I'm so and so," and blah blah blah. And I said, "Sure, yeah, well, you know."
Yeah, I think these videos are actually like this. I did like a 5-day mini course, and it was
Yes.
like 5 days to a really great LinkedIn
Right.
profile
Right.
and to get up and running. And that's what these
Right.
are, like 5-minute 5-day videos, and you can do one a day, and then in a week, you'll be pretty much squared away on that.
Right.
So.
Putting leads into your pipeline and sales funnel, how to add to your LinkedIn profile, setting it up correctly, LinkedIn posting management template and training. And Gloria, what's amazing to me is you have so much stuff here, and I know you have even more stuff besides here, but you have so much stuff here, none of it overlaps.
Yeah, it
That is
doesn't.
shocking to me.
Yeah, it doesn't overlap. Some of these are how to, your template is actually, I create templates, like if you need to redo your profile, I have a template and show you how to put everything in the template and then copy and paste into your LinkedIn profile. And then I actually do that with your posting, like if you wanted to do updates and blogging, I have templates that you can actually use where you can pre-plan these posting activities and the content and then actually do it very quickly so that you can actually be up and active on LinkedIn and, like 10 minutes a day type of thing.
Now, Gloria,
So
you've got these in order, right? I think the best thing for a person to do is just start at the top and work their way down to the bottom. Would that be true?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just go ahead and work their way down, and the foundational courses and everything else builds on that. So
right. So basically what you guys want to do is you want to take these first 5, the course itself, you want to absorb those and implement those, and then go back and start with the bonuses, because that will help you tweak. It'll help you get even more leverage out of what you're doing on LinkedIn. Let's see where it was. I think it was at bonus 8.
yeah.
Bonus 8 has several days to it. Connecting with people. See, I didn't know a lot of stuff about connecting with people that you straightened me out about who to connect with, how to connect. I mean, I've got connecting down to a mindless science now. It takes me all of 10 minutes, and I connect with 50 to 60 new people a day religiously.
Yeah.
The group activity is huge. You can really leverage groups to, again, brand yourself, position yourself in other people's heads, and also get people to where they're reaching out to you. They're reaching out to you as the expert. Let's say you're in a health and wellness company. So they say, you can get this to where the personal trainer is reaching out to you. Hey, I read your profile. I'm a personal trainer. Been doing it for several years. We really need to add more income to that because, most of those personal trainers don't make a whole ton of money, which is too bad because they're doing such great service for people. But really wondering about how to do this. The number of people, Gloria, that reach out to you and me both saying, "Can you help me?" is shocking.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Reaching out, and then we have client prospect profile download, email templates. So Gloria's got the whole thing covered.
Yeah,
how
if
to
you don't
email people, what to say.
Yeah, you just copy and paste these pretty much, which this
Right.
is a hilarious story, but I got an email, a connection. I connected with somebody, and then the email was one of these emails that I provided.
Right. I remember you showed me that.
It was somebody that actually had gotten the course, and they just copied and pasted. It was verbatim. I thought that was awesome. So they work, and they're very
absolutely.
Now these bonuses like 13, the ones that are like the blue PowerPoints.
Yeah.
This is really not LinkedIn related, but it's really talking about every business, no matter what you're in, whether it be network marketing or just a traditional business, you need to have leads and you need to have some type of funnel system where you can constantly put people in your sales funnel so that you can convert people. And then not everybody in your sales funnel is going to be up for what you have to offer, so you know, continually remarket to them as well. So this is more of an overall like business, you know, business school 101 type of stuff,
Well,
or
this is
sales
follow-up.
training
Yeah,
101. Yeah,
sales
exactly.
management. But see, this is key because a lot of people lose out on the follow-up.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So this is key stuff, and it's properly in here. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
that.
why
Then we
I
get to the
added it,
last
yeah.
bonuses, and these were LinkedIn Laser was a webinar series that Gloria and I sold earlier this year,
And these are the
which
replays.
goes into some really, really cool ninja stuff about LinkedIn. I mean, attraction marketing, and you know, we talk all about how I personally blog on LinkedIn, how I use LinkedIn and YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, we go into setting up groups and how to set up your group, you know,
Yes.
your group policies, how to post hijack, how to hijack posts, and how to post so that it doesn't take you very much time, and you
Right.
can actually build that attraction marketing campaign
Right.
up. So, yep.
So that's what is included. It's an amazing amount of stuff for if you put in the coupon code. It's amazing amount of stuff if you don't put in the coupon code.
Okay, Lee, how much time do you spend on this every day?
I would say 15 to 30 minutes, if that.
And that includes you doing a video and you doing this major attraction marketing campaign too, I think, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of had to quit doing the videos for a while because honestly, guys, I was getting so much business out of this. I had to just I had to shut off the valve for a while just so I could deal with it. But I'm about through. Picture a python eating a giant pig. That's what I felt like. I'm about through that section. I'm about to turn the valve back on. But every day I would reach out to 50 or 60 new people. That's the optimum amount of people to reach out to. Those are the new connect. I would field whatever messages and invites I had. And again, Gloria's got templates. And you know, like email templates for all that stuff. I basically use what she did. I just cut and paste actually. I shoot a quick 1 or 2 minute YouTube video. I put it up on YouTube. I slap it on my blog. You can blog on LinkedIn. I slap it on my blog on LinkedIn. I copy it over to my blog on my own domain name, and bam, I'm done. But see, what is so cool, guys, LinkedIn is so powerful that I've done zero marketing to get eyeballs on my LinkedIn blog, but I have posts over there that have 100, 200, 300, 500, 600 views on the post. It's crazy. And massive engagement, lots of comments on the posts also. So it's an extremely powerful platform, and it's the right time to be on this platform too, because LinkedIn is making a lot of changes, like the new blogging feature, which is about 4 months old now, I think. I mean, Richard Branson could blog before I could for some crazy reason. But for normal people, the blogging's about 4 months old or so. Now's the time to get on there and do it because you got less competition.
Exactly.
What else we got, Roger? Any other big questions?
And now there's a question on exactly what you're using LinkedIn for. What business are you building on LinkedIn?
I am building a network marketing business. Now, total transparency. I have, and Gloria and I have both been doing this with my profile, been doing some experimenting with some stuff. And that is kind of tweaking the profile in different ways. Because frankly, it was working so well, I had this whole stack of people that I'm just sort of working my way through, many of whom, or some nice number of whom, are coming into our opportunity. But yeah, so if you look at my profile right now, it's not going to reference network marketing. I was specifically doing a little test, frankly. But normally and I have different profiles that have been switching out because I'm kind of playing around with this. But normally my profile references the fact that I'm in a network marketing business, that I'm also a network marketing trainer. I train people in sales skills and things like that. and just sort of leaves it at that, so people understand who I am and why I am. There's no bait and switch or anything silly like that. It's just very professional. And so, yeah, Roger, that's so LinkedIn for me. Okay, LinkedIn for me is all about my network marketing business. Now, some of you on this webinar know me also as an internet marketer, which I have been for a number of years. I do not use LinkedIn for that. I don't think I've got another profile on LinkedIn that we're experimenting with some stuff, but I think on the same profile, you can't do two things, okay? I mean, you can't be one thing. I mean, these things are highly interrelated, but you can't be one thing to people and be another thing, you know, to the same people. So my internet marketing business, those people know me through Facebook. My network marketing MLM side of me, that's all LinkedIn. So that's what I personally use that for.
Well, you actually just covered two other questions with your answer there.
Okay. What were the questions, out of curiosity?
One was, if you do more than one business, is it okay to use more than one profile at LinkedIn so you can keep them separate? So you answered that one.
Yeah, I've got another profile. My profile is just Lee Cole. I've got another profile, R. Lee Cole, that frankly I can't tell you too much about it, and I'm not trying to keep secrets. It's just that we're not ready to say it, but guys, we've got, Gloria, okay, Gloria, just tell me later if you're mad at me. We've got some killer software that's coming out in about 2 weeks for this, okay? I can't include it into this because $97 is too low for this information. I'm just serious. $97 is too low for what you're getting here. Okay, we just decided to do y'all a huge favor. A couple of weeks from now, don't wait on the software. You can get this, you can learn this, you can get the software, the work intent. We got some killer software coming out, so that's about all I can say. But that's what that's one of the reasons for all the experiments. Okay.
Okay, we've got a lot of comments about everybody's with you. About 95% of the people on the call tonight are familiar with LinkedIn, so there are really no big issues.
Okay, good. Good. I hope people got something out of tonight's training. Maybe, you know, that's kind of my big hope, is that you learned a little tidbit of information that might help you, or that you can have a takeaway from this training.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Gloria.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
So we're going to have this up with the coupon through Saturday night. I just wrote that down on my calendar. I'll go over to JVZoo and make sure that I adjust. I think there's a thing over there where I can adjust the timing of the coupon.
Yeah, Lee, let's just say 72 hours. We might do a replay on this, and we don't know who's seeing this later.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think 72 hours would be Saturday night, I think. But yeah, we'll do that. And look, if anybody has any major problems, like, you know, you want to buy it but you can't buy it till Sunday, that's fine. Just let us know. We're not here to be, you know, totally OCD about the whole thing. We're here to help you out.
Right. Exactly. Awesome webinar, guys. That looks like we've got everything answered, Lee. That's the last 15 minutes answered most of our questions.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, guys, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you on LinkedIn. Happy networking.
All right. Thank you, guys. See ya.